War recap time. Yeah, yeah. Alright, let's check out the war before I lose the replays. Oh, check that out. Look at what we have here. A perfect war. Damn. Yeah, we crushed those fools. Alright, war format. Let's look at the participants. Me, Clashafarian. Ad, NetDug, me. Captain, Adrian, TH8. So 1 TH10, 2 TH9, and 2 TH8. Let me see. Alright, it's recording. Cool. And the enemy, oh, damn. You can't see it because we crush all their bases. But it's the same breakdown. 1 TH10, 2 TH9, 2 TH8. No manipulation involved. So, once again, war matchmaking. Why are people complaining so much? I don't know. Overall, I think SC's done a good job. I have yet to complain about war matchmaking. Hasn't been bad at all. At least for us. Maybe because we do small wars, it's easier to manage. So maybe that's why. But anyways, alright. How am I going to do my first war recap vid? First, let me talk about the base, my thought process, and then show the warhead. How does that sound? Sound alright? Yeah. Sure it does. Alright. I had to dip down because my clanmates felt rusty as hell. This one, Captain, even though he's rusty, he 3-started. He did a good job. This one I'm going to skip in terms of talking about thought process because obviously I'm not captain, so I don't know what he was thinking. So let's start with the basis that I 3-star. Now, first off, I had a TH9, so of course I'm going to 3 to start this base. It's so easy. But with that said, you still got to put a little thought behind it. I mean, I crushed this base easy. So what was my main objective? I wanted to draw out the CC. Now, as you can see, the CC is heavily fortified. It's hard to draw out the CC easy. So what did I do? See, if you press all this, you see these rings? That white ring? That's when it's going to get activated, obviously. So I was like, all right, what's my best plan of action? Now, I already knew what was in the CC. I knew it was a drag and a loon. But say that I didn't know what was in the CC, I would have brought out hogs to draw out the CC to be sure. But on this one, since I already knew what the CC was and I just wanted to simply draw it out, while also getting some benefit by destroying some defenses, all I used was 2 loons and 1 hog. The only reason why I used 1 hog was to draw out that loon, because it was imperative for me to kill that CC first before I started my raid. So 2 loons right against that AT. So I knew it was going to take out the Archer Tower. It's a benefit. Takes out 1 defense out of the equation for only a value of 10 spaces. So why not? And then bonus, maybe one of these cannons. It was going to go to one of these cannons and maybe destroy him. Maybe not. I really didn't care. My main purpose was just to draw out the CC. After that, I was like, okay, I know loons don't activate the loon in the CC. So how am I going to draw that out? I just put in 1 hog. Just 5 spaces to draw out that loon. So once there, and I knew that there was a Tesla on 3 o'clock side. So I was going to start my queen walk from here. Now, if you notice, why did I decide to do queen walk and not bring any wall breakers with my army comp? Look at these air defenses. See the range? Do you notice something? Right. It doesn't hit outside at all. So I was like, all right, I don't need to bring the AQ inside to try to take out these ADs. I'll just let her walk around the base. No problem. which I did. So I started my queen walk at 3 o'clock to get rid of that Tesla, and then slowly the CC would draw out towards her, and I would kill her. Now, I had 2 poisons. I should just did a double lay on the poison to fully get rid of Loon. I had to use the AQ ability to because the Loon got dangerously close under her. So I had to use the ability to get rid of the CC easily. So once she did it, now once the CC got killed, I didn't care whether she walked up towards 12 or walked down towards 6. From there, I would decide, okay, I'll plan my attack accordingly. If she decides to walk down here, I'll start my attack up here. So, because as you can see, not much point defenses can hit her at the same time. So I didn't care whether she walked up or down because I know she would need minimal help. Actually, I knew she would need no help at all. Help meaning keep my eye on her and make sure drop rage to keep her alive. I know I didn't need that because of the point defenses out here. It's not enough to put her in danger. So whether she walked up or down, I just attacked the opposite side. So in this case, she walked down over here. So I started my attack at 12 o'clock. First thing I did was distract these point defenses. I really didn't need to, but why not? I did. So I dropped my BK down here to distract these. And then I did surgical hogs all around the base. Because the reason why surgical hogs is a good tactic is because all your hogs are not grouped in one area where all of them can get hurt at the same time. You could just throw little hogs all around the base and say that they do happen to run across bombs. Only a few of them would get hurt instead of the whole pack getting hurt. That's why I did surgical hogs. So once all the hogs went around, I bought my CC also was hogs. So I used my CC hogs separately from the hogs that I already had in my army set. So let's check it out. Let's see what I'm talking about here. This is ridiculous. I'm just explaining this warhead. It's not even really worthy to make a vid about this because it's a TH8 and I'm a TH9 dipping down on it. But see how easy? Just 15 spaces and I drew out the CC. Remember, when drawing out CC, you don't want to sacrifice too many spaces to get the CC out. If it's too hard to draw out, then plan accordingly. So let's just check it. See how the Loon got right under my AQ? You do not want the Loon to go right under AQ. I should just did a double line of poison because I really didn't need the second poison. But see? Yeah, I took out a dangerous defense. See that bomb tower? Woo! Took it out. That's super, super extra bonus for me. Look. Her walk towards down again instead of up. I thought she was going to walk up because of that builder hut, but guess not. See? So I did surgical hogging. Now pay close attention to those hogs. See how the whole group don't get hurt because I did surgical hogging? See? Little by little. So, see? Even if they trigger bombs, the whole pack doesn't get hurt. And this is what you call an overkill. Like I said, this is a joke. I mean, it's not really worth showing a TH9 dipping down a TH8. But since this is my first war recap video, I'm just testing it out. And easy peasy. Done. So check out my army comp over here. As you can see, I use Queen Walk Hogs. There's many ways to do it. I guess I could explain in a different vid my thought process in terms of army comps more in detail. But let's go to the next one. So next one, I guess it's a little bit better to show. This is my TH9 versus their TH9. As you can see, it's a maxed defense TH9, nicely upgraded. Now, first thing I did when I looked at that base, I wanted to try out the new craze. This is called the Falcon Army, as you can see from my army comp. I just wanted to see what all the hoopla was about. But guess what? I used this army a long time, ages ago. I mean, I definitely used a little bit more hogs than this recommended comp. Because the main comp apparently for the Falcon attack is the 4 healers, 4 hogs, 14 Valks. That's the main comp for the Falcon army. And the rest, you could use whatever. I used a lot of cleaners because, see, as you can see, look at the space. Look how spread out it is, and a lot of outside buildings, unprotected outside buildings too. So I knew I needed a lot of cleaner. So that's why I decided to carry extra cleaners outside over here. 8 archers and 6 whiz to help me clean. Also, I wanted a little extra whiz because of the CC. I wanted I have no air shooters. See, my Valks can attack the CC if it's air. My BK can attack, obviously, and my CC can attack. My CC is all bowlers. So I wanted that little extra help to kill the CC other than just my AQ and poison. And I only used 2 whiz to help out. I knew 2 whiz is more than good enough to take out the CC without max damage to my main army. So the whole concept of Falcon is it's very imperative for your Queen Walk to conjoin with the rest of the army, the Valks, BK, and the CC. Very important. And it's also very important for your AQ to go inside the base along with them, not walk around the base. So you have to plan accordingly. Also, you want to funnel, but funnel as cheaply as possible. So my plan was to take out this AD with my Queen Walk so it doesn't cause a lot of problems like later down the road once I go inside the base. My point of entry I knew was going to be in this box right here. So how am I going to make sure that my AQ walks from, what time is that? From 9 o'clock up into this box along with the rest of the army. I knew I had to get rid of mainly this side over here, okay? And maybe even this side. Actually, these are the more important ones. This one doesn't matter as much because this is along the path of these buildings. So it's not going to distract my AQ to walk down, which I did not want. So these are the main points of interest for me. I want to get rid of them. Now, I had to funnel the other side too. Why? Because I want to make sure that the Valks, BK, and CC goes into the base and they don't get distracted and walk outside the base. So what's my best way of doing that? I got to make sure that these buildings, mainly these 2 buildings, and even this, gets taken out before I start the BK, Valks, and CC portion of the raid. I knew I had to funnel. But you want to funnel as cheaply as possible. That's the name of the game. Funnel cheap. And I can't stress how important funneling is. Funneling is super, super important. So I used, I think, 2 whiz? I thought 1 whiz would take out this. Wait. Yeah. I thought it was going to take out this and then walk this way, take out this and this. But it didn't work out that way. I had to use another whiz to get rid of this. But not that big of a deal. It's only 4 spaces each. So not a huge fundamental mistake. You know, I could get away with it. So My AQ started walking up as planned, and then once it started walking up, I knew I had to drop the rest of my army and funnel the rest of these buildings out, and it'll go right into the base. So once into the base, they completely just crushed that base. As you can see, you don't need wall breakers with this army comp. Why? Because Valks are beast. These girls, they don't play. Especially a group of them, they tear through walls. Especially under rage, they just tear through walls. And you want to use one heal just to keep the main portion of the army alive, wherever need be. Obviously, I knew I was going to need heal in the core, because most of the DPS will be hitting the core, especially the splash damages. See that? All the splash damages could reach the core. So if I put a heal right in the core, most of my army is going to be safe to go. So let's check it out. See how I funneled? Very easy hit. You could use, the beauty of TH9, you could use so many different army comps to get the job done. Like I said, I just wanted to see what all the craze was about this Falcon army. Even though I'm not experienced in using this particular comp, I understood the AI, so I feel pretty comfortable with any army compositions. As long as I know the purpose of the army compositions, I'm good to go, and what their main objectives are. And it's pretty easy to deduce the objectives by looking at the army comp, because I know the strengths and weaknesses of each and every troop. So I know what they're supposed to do and what their jobs are supposed to be. But see that? How I dropped the BK. That's my tank. And see how I funneled. See, I knew they had no choice but to go into the base. See that? They had no choice but to go into the base. I pre-laid the poison because I knew at that point it would activate the CC. Drop the rage, tear through the walls easily. Look at that. I used 2 whiz. See that? How I dropped 2 whiz to help out with the CC. That's the only reason why I dropped 2 whiz, to help out with the CC. Look at that. Look how easily they crushed this base. See, I used side hogs to help out. And look at the value of these 4 hogs. Only 4 hogs, 20 spaces. Look at the value. Look at that. Took out 2 defenses, triggered a bomb. It's going to trigger, take out another defense, and trigger all the bombs over there. Look at that. So now the rest of my army had nothing to worry about. Over here, you'll see that I try to use my BK ability early to distract these, but it was already too late. I wanted to try to protect my AQ, but I wasn't really worried. Even if it couldn't protect my AQ, I had more than enough troops to overtake the space. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's check it out. This is another one really not worth showing, but since this is my first war recap, let's do it. This was a dip because we didn't have enough hits to take out this base, so I had no choice but to fresh 3 this base with my TH10. I mean, it's a joke. I'm a max TH10. Of course I'm going to 3-star this base. But the important part of this important part of this replay is showing you, even though I 3-starred it, it's still a fail. Why is it a fail? Because at the end of this raid, I didn't have many troops left over, which means I did this raid very, very sloppy. I did not execute this raid properly, because if you execute a raid properly, you should have at least a decent amount of troops to a lot of troops left over. That means you executed the raid flawlessly. This one was messy. Why was it messy? It's obvious to me. It's because my AQ didn't walk into the base with the rest of my army, which is the main objective of the Falcon army. You want the AQ to walk inside to help the rest of your army. Let them conjoin. I dropped my Valks, BK, and CC way too early. And it destroyed too many buildings for the AQ temp to walk in with them. So she veered off and she started walking outside. Now, is that the AI's fault? No. That's another thing I noticed. Too many people blame the stupidity AI. In most cases, I'm not saying in all cases, in most cases, the stupidity is not the AI. The stupidity is in the user, okay? Maybe that's a strong word. You know what I mean. I don't mean like, because they're stupid it happened. It's just because they made a mistake it happened that way. In more cases than not. Or most cases, not more. In most cases. So let's check it out. Let's see if you can see the problem with this raid. See? I wanted to funnel and make sure she walks from 3 o'clock into my attended target, which is 2 o'clock. I wanted them to walk into the 2 o'clock side. So see, that's why I funnel with these baby dragons, to make sure she doesn't get distracted and walk outside. See that? See, I took out all those buildings. See, I took out the 12 o'clock buildings to help with my BK, Valks, and CC to ensure that they walk right into the base and they don't walk outside the base. But see, I dropped everything way too early. See, I killed all those buildings way too early. So after the AQ attacked killed the AD and the gold storage, see, all that, now she had no other buildings to distract her to want to walk inside. The closest building was that Archer Tower and made her walk out. And look at that CC. That CC killed me. Destroyed most of my army. But I overpowered this base because I'm a TH10. It's easy. This was just a very sloppy raid. And this is another example of what I'm talking about. Even though you 3-star, it doesn't necessarily mean that the raid was a success. You know, you don't want to 3-star this way. This is a very sloppy way to 3-star. You know, this doesn't help you improve in the game and make you good at the game. This, I simply overpowered the base because I'm a max TH10. So of course I was going to 3-star. As long as I did a competent job of deploying, which I did. I didn't do a good job. I did a competent job of deploying. That's why I 3-starred this base. The only way you would fail is if you completely mess up and just attack like a noob. That's the only way you could fail. But see, this was too easy. All right. Now, let's go to the next replay that I did. This is a max TH10 versus a max TH10. Now, over here, first off, horrible. Dude, this is not a war base. This is a farm base. I mean, when I saw this, I was like, I salivated. I was like, I'm going to 3-star this base. It should not be easy. Matter of fact, it should be very, very, very hard to 3-star a max TH10 with a TH10. I mean, the percentages of you actually being able to 3-star it should be very, very low. What the percentage is, I don't know. Well, I know that it's low. But once I saw this base, I was like, I'm going to 3-star this base because look at it. It's symmetrical. First problem. Second problem is it's just everything's intact. There's not much compartments in this base. It's easy to move around. Honestly, I could have used many armies, but I thought the easiest armies was just to use the bowlers. So, if you look over here, most of the splash damage is on the bottom over here. See that? Splash damage all on the bottom. And all the point defenses are on the top mostly. So, I was just going to queen walk the bottom because she would take minimum damage if I just queen walk. So I knew I want to get rid as many of these buildings as possible with my queen walk and not needing much spells or help, or even using AQ ability to help her out get through these very dangerous defenses. This is a very, very bad layout. You do not want to put point defenses on one side and all splash defenses on the bottom. That's horrible. So, and look, as you can see, it's very easy to funnel over here too. There's not too many outside buildings that's going to distract your army to walk outside the base as opposed to inside the base. So, and it's very easy for me to plan my queen walk, and I knew where she was going to go exactly. So I started off right above this dark barrack because I knew she would take this out, and either hit this first or hit that first. It didn't really matter because guess what? There's no buildings that would distract her, and there's enough buildings out here to make her want to walk towards the intended place, which is towards 6 o'clock and loop around towards 5 o'clock and conjoin with the rest of my army. Now, see these buildings over here? That could possibly distract the other portion of my army, the bulls, the BK. So I want to make sure I get rid of this first before, I drop the rest of my army. So I got rid of this with a simple BD. Just one BD. I took out this building, and this building. Main objective. Now, check this out. You might be asking yourself, hey, why do you bring 3 loons with this composition? I've never seen loons with bowlers before. Well, it's because of this. Look at that. Who's protecting this archer tower? Only this expo. But I knew this expo would be distracted once my main army walks into this base. I knew it would be distracted. So all I needed was 3 loons to take this out. And check out the value of these loons. Look at how many defenses it takes out along the way, because nothing can hurt it. And the reason why I brought another BD was possibly for these outside archer towers. So once these are distracted, I was going to drop a BD to help with the cleanup. I bought 5 archers because, see, these corner huts, just in case. I was like, why not? It's better to bring 5 archers just in case I have extra buildings left over and I want to save some time than to bring only 1 wizard and 5 archers covers more space. Even though I really didn't need to, because in cases like this, when everything's compact like this, you don't need a lot of troops, but I just did it. 1 whiz and 1 arch would have been more than good enough. So let's check this out. Check out what I did. See, I wanted to funnel first before anything. Make sure that these buildings are out of the way. And to save time, start my queen walk. But see, it did exactly as I planned. I already foresaw this on 3-star way before I started the raid. Always you want to foresee your whole raid before you start the raid. Because you should pretty much know how your troops are going to move around and where they're supposed to go. More times than not. This was a fresh hit, by the way. I didn't get no scouts on this, so I didn't know where the Teslas were, where the traps were, what the CC was, but it didn't matter to me because this design was so simple. But see, the reason why I bought CC Giants was because of that multi-inferno. I wanted a tank. But see, look at that. I just completely crushed this base. 2 jumps for easy access into multiple parts of the base. 1 heal to keep my main army alive. And check out how much it helps. See, even though all those defenses are hitting my bulls, they're not being killed. But see how this archer tower is being distracted? So boom, I dropped the BD right behind it. And it took it out easily. Now check out. See, once this expo is distracted, I drop the loons on top and check out what my loons do. A lot of damage. great value for only 15 spaces. Look at that. 4 buildings down, 5 buildings down, and look at the BD doing work, cleaning up for me. 5, 6 buildings, and then helps with the cleanup. Easy peasy. Let's just fast forward to this. Easy 3-star. Yeah, we demoralized this clan. These guys didn't attack until like there was like 2 hours left in this war, and they only did 3 attacks. Whack. But me, I don't like to wait. I know a lot of people's strategies to wait till the last few minutes of the war, for strategy's sakes. But I just want to do the damn thing. I just want to bang. I mean, like, I could care less whether we win or lose. My main focus is on our performance. Like, how well do we do attacking and defending? Because if you focus on just that, focus on your attacking skills and your defense skills, and just focus on that and nothing else, guess what? You're going to win most of the times. Unless you meet another clan with that same thought process. The only time that strategy really helps, I think, is if you meet a clan that's highly skilled. Then cases like that, strategy comes in terms of time hits. That strategy comes into play. But me, I don't have the patience for that. I just want to throw down. You know what I mean? All right, there's my first recap. Let's check out Captain's Hit. First, let's see. Let's check out his army comp. Over here, as you can see, it's the Gold Valk. A lot of armies could be used in TH8. It seems like the most popular TH8 armies are Drag armies and Hog armies. Those seem to be the most popular TH8 armies. But, TH8, if you execute right, you could use many different types. Once my TH8 becomes more operational, I'll start showing all the different strategies you could use. But let's see what he does. It was a beautiful raid. See that? He drew out the CC just using 1 hog. Great value. Look at that. And he beautifully brings out the CC. Draws them out. Nice and cheap. Just, see, arch at a time. And use the golem as tanks to distract. And boom, look at that. Look at how easily he takes it out. And he starts this raid. I guess in other vids, I'll start explaining the art of killing the CC properly and effectively. But this was just a beautiful raid. He executed it perfectly. He crushed this building. Even though it was rusty, we're all rusty. This is our first war in I think 37 days, something like that. We're kind of lazy. Everybody's busy with real life, so it's kind of hard to work constantly. But look at that. See how clean? Look at all those troops he had left over. Why do you have so many troops left over? Because he executed this raid beautifully. Easy peasy 3. Good job, Cat. Alright. That's the end of my first war recap. Done dutta. Till the next time. Peace.